Assalamualaikum and Adab, my dear elderly brothers and sisters. Today I have come to speak about a truth that most people do not have the courage to say to your face, because the truth is a little frightening. When you wake up in the morning, do your hands and feet tingle? Does it feel like the strength in your fingers is fading? When you go to the toilet, does pain grip your knees or leg joints? Do you feel a strange prickling sensation in your nails or fingers? When playing with your grandchildren, do you suddenly feel, I can't do this anymore? Is life slowly revolving only around irritation and pain? Believe me, these are not ordinary pains. These are your body's final warning signals, a silent SOS. But let me ask you one question. Do you know that by following certain home remedies regularly, blocked tiny blood vessels can begin to open again? The tingling in hands and feet slowly reduces, pain lightens, and strength returns. Today the feet tingle. Tomorrow walking becomes difficult. And just like that, one morning the legs simply stop responding. This is exactly how paralysis begins. Slowly, silently, a person unknowingly moves toward a wheelchair. You feel afraid. Feeling afraid is necessary, because those who feel no fear are the ones who delay the most. Inside your legs there are thousands of tiny nerves and blood vessels. When blood circulation through these vessels decreases, the legs gradually become weak. First sensation diminishes, then strength, then independence. Ask yourself once, do you want a day to come when you have to say to your own child, "Son, take me to the bathroom"? If you do not want that, then watch this video to the end. Today let me tell you the story of one person, 74-year-old Abdul Hakim, a retired army member who protected others all his life, but in his old age could not protect his own legs. After walking just a few hundred steps, his legs would tingle, his knees would tremble, and an unknown fear would creep into his chest. One day his son said with a trembling voice, "Doctor, my father's dream was to walk at the village fair holding his grandson's hand. Now he cannot even cross the doorstep of the house." This helplessness breaks a person from within. And do you know the most terrifying thing? Most of the time, these problems do not grow with pain. They grow silently. Recent reports say that a large portion of people above 70 have serious blockages in the nerves of their legs, yet they do not know it at all. And blocked blood vessels in the legs do not just mean walking problems. It also multiplies the risk of stroke and heart attack many times over. Now tell me, is this something to take lightly? But I have not come today to frighten you. I've come to show you the way. Today I will share 5 simple hot water methods that have restored blood circulation to the legs of thousands of elderly people. No operation, no expensive injection, just kitchen ingredients used in the right way. One of my patients, Uncle Ismail, tried just one method for 3 days and said, "Doctor, it feels like new wiring has been installed in my legs." If you skip this video, your nerves and blood vessels will make their own decisions. But if you stay till the end, your fate can begin to change from today itself. Write yes in the comments below if you want your legs to function like your own again. And write where you're watching from, because the very first tip coming up will cause the blood stuck inside your legs to break through like a river breaking its banks. Do not miss it. But before that, you must know one hard truth. A 2025 study from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute for Geriatrics says that the main cause of nerve blockage in the legs is long-term inflammation and oxidative stress. These two things slowly destroy the nerves from within. Surprisingly, using certain special hot water methods in the right way can reduce this swelling and burning significantly within just 72 hours. According to Ayurveda, this problem worsens when Vata and Kapha dosha increase. When the right ingredients are mixed with hot water, the hard blockages accumulated in the nerves begin to dissolve. Blood flows normally again. So without further delay, let us come to the first highly effective method. The first method is soaking the feet in hot water with rock salt and cloves. This is not just ordinary foot soaking. This is actually a powerful process for breaking blockages. Take a large bucket of hot water, hot enough to soak the feet but not to burn. Add about 100 grams of rock salt. Then take 20 to 25 cloves, wrap them in a cloth, and lightly crush them so the oil inside is released. Place that pouch in the water and cover it for 5 minutes. Then submerge both feet in the water and sit for 20 minutes. During this time, every 5 minutes, lightly massage the toes, soles, and heels. Rock salt draws out the toxins from inside the body, and the eugenol oil of cloves dilates the blood vessels. This mixture breaks down the hard layers of calcium and cholesterol accumulated in the nerves. According to a Harv Health 2025 report, this foot-soaking method can increase blood vessel dilation by up to 40%. One of my patients was 71-year-old Roshan Ara Begum. At night, her feet would go ice cold and tingle. While walking, it felt as if her legs were no longer under her control. At first, she said, "What can such ordinary things do?" But after 3 consecutive nights, on the 4th day, she called herself and said, "Doctor, my feet are now warm and there is no more tingling." 1 week later, she was able to walk all the way to the market again. The joy in her voice that day, I have never been able to forget. This method must be done every night, 1 hour before sleeping, for 10 consecutive days. However, if you have diabetes, do not make the water too hot and monitor the skin of your feet carefully. Write yes in the comments below if you want to start this from today, because if neglected, the next problem can become even more terrifying. Next, I will talk about ginger and cinnamon hot tea, which cleans the blood vessels from within. Finely chop ginger, boil it in water, mix in cinnamon, and drink it hot. This tea thins the blood and dissolves the hard blockages inside the nerves. One of my patients, Abdul Karim, used to be unable to sleep at night due to pain. Within just a few days, warmth and strength returned to his legs. At the 10-day mark, he was able to walk to the tea stall by himself. According to Ayurveda, both ginger and cinnamon are of warm energy. They reduce kapha inside the body, clean the blood vessels, and slowly dissolve the blockages accumulated inside the nerves. So the rule of drinking this tea is very important. Every morning on an empty stomach, drink 1 cup of hot ginger cinnamon tea. For how long? 21 consecutive days, no excuses. However, one precaution to remember: those who have acidity or stomach ulcer problems should keep the amount of ginger at half. Write yes in the comments below if you are truly willing to make and drink this tea. And if you do not write it, you yourself are deciding to live with blocked nerves. Now comes the third method for breaking deep and old blockages: hot Epsom salt therapy. However, this is not for everyone. It is for those whose problem is of many years. Those who always have an aching, gripping pain deep in the waist, thighs, or back. Those who feel as if something is stuck inside the body. For this therapy, you will need 2 handfuls of Epsom salt, 1 handful of mustard seeds, and a thick cotton cloth. First, lightly roast the mustard seeds in a dry pan. Then tie them in the cloth to make a pouch. Boil 2 liters of water and dissolve the Epsom salt in it. Then put the pouch in the water and boil for 5 minutes. After that, turn off the gas, soak a towel in the water, wring it out when it is comfortably hot, and place it on the area of pain, the waist, thighs, or back. After 10 minutes, soak it again in the hot water and apply again. Do this for a total of 20 minutes. The magnesium in Epsom salt loosens the nerves and muscles, and the potency of mustard oil opens up the blood vessels from within. Working together, these two soften the hard nerve blocks accumulated deep inside and restore blood circulation. Do not take this method lightly at all, because deep blockages can suddenly render you bedridden one day. Let me say something very clearly. The blockage that today can be temporarily managed with hot compresses and medicine, tomorrow that same blockage can press down so hard that even standing becomes impossible. Then you will regret and say, "If only I had started earlier." According to Ayurvedic text 2025, the use of Epsom salt and mustard in this way dissolves the accumulated dosha in the muscles, the energy stuck in the dhatu, and fat-like stone blockages, especially for those whose vata has increased, whose legs are stiffening, who have deep gripping pain. For them, this is like saving a life. One of my patients was 77-year-old Abdur Rahman, a retired farmer. He had terrible blockages in the thigh nerves of both legs. Standing for even a moment would make his legs go numb. Working in the fields was out of the question. He would be exhausted even in his own courtyard. When I told him about this hot compress, he smiled and said, "Doctor, can such a big disease go away with hot water?" But after just 3 consecutive days, a lightness came in the thighs. A week later, he called and said, "Doctor, now I can stand for 10 minutes. It feels like blood is racing inside my legs." Hearing those words, my own heart felt lighter. This compress must be done every day around 5 p.m. for 20 minutes, for at least 7 consecutive days, then 3 days a week. One precaution only. Do not make the towel so hot that it burns the skin. Heat that is comfortably tolerable is sufficient. Write yes in the comments below if you want to start this deep blockage breaking therapy today. If you do not write it, it must be understood that you are still willing to coexist with the pain. Now comes the fourth remedy, turmeric and black pepper hot milk. This is the formula to make the nerves young again. Let me tell you a terrifying truth. As age increases, the nerves do not just block, they harden and become like stone. And hardened nerves mean pain, weakness, and the risk of sudden blood clotting. This recipe softens, strengthens, and makes the nerves flexible from within. Heat 1 glass of cow's milk, add 1 teaspoon of turmeric and half a teaspoon of black pepper, boil well, and it is ready. Drink this milk while it is hot. The curcumin inside turmeric reduces swelling in the nerves and helps heal internal wounds. And the piperine in black pepper increases the body's ability to absorb this curcumin by up to 20 times. Not only that, it also reduces the risk of blood clotting. According to a Harv Health 2025 report, drinking this milk regularly for 30 days increases nerve flexibility by nearly 40%, and the process of forming new blood vessels begins. One of my patients was 72-year-old Fatima Khatun, a retired teacher. Her nerves had become so weak that even a slight knock would cause pain and swelling. For the first few days, she could not even tolerate the sharpness of the black pepper. But after 7 nights, the pain slowly began to reduce. 1 month later, she said with a smile, "Doctor, now I can climb the stairs without getting tired." Those words themselves are proof. When the nerves heal, life changes too. How to drink this milk? Every night, 1 hour before sleeping, 1 glass for 30 consecutive nights. One precaution only. Those who are allergic to cow's milk should use almond milk instead. Write yes in the comments below if you want to make this golden milk. Or are you willing to keep going with stiff, dried up nerves? Now comes the fifth and most critical remedy, neem leaf and cloth steam. This is not for mild problems. This is for those who suddenly feel tingling in hands and feet. One side of the body feels weak, speech becomes slurred, balance is lost while walking. These are not minor symptoms. These mean that paralysis is standing at the door and knocking. For this steam, you will need a handful of fresh neem leaves, a clean cloth, and 1 liter of water. Boil the water, add the neem leaves and cloth, and simmer for 5 minutes. Then turn off the gas and place the vessel on a table. Now the very important part, cover your head and the vessel with a large towel. Take the hot steam on the area where you feel tingling or weakness. Time, 10 to 15 minutes. Neem is a powerful blood purifier and nerve cleanser, and the hot cloth immediately opens up the blood vessels. Together, these two flush out the toxins, infection, and burning accumulated in the nerves. An MS 2025 report found that neem and cloth steam increases the flow of neurotransmitters, reduces inflammation by nearly 60%, and brings down the risk of paralysis by up to 80%. One of my patients was 80-year-old Habibur Rahman. One day, his entire left hand suddenly went numb. He could not hold a spoon. Doctors said this was the pre-stroke stage. I told him to take this steam. On the first day, he could not bear the smell. On the second day, light sensation began to return. On the third day, he called with a trembling voice and said, "Doctor, I can put on my glasses myself." 1 week later, he came in person and said, "My hand has come back." There were tears in his eyes, and in mine too. This steam must be taken every morning on an empty stomach for 15 minutes, for 5 consecutive days, then twice a week. One precaution only, keep your eyes closed. Do not bring your face too close. Write yes in the comments below if you want to start this life-saving method without ignoring the risk of paralysis. If you do not write it, it must be understood that you are leaving everything to fate. At the end, listen carefully to one thing. These 5 hot water methods, rock salt and clove foot soak, ginger cinnamon tea, Epsom salt and mustard compress, turmeric pepper milk, and neem cloth steam, when done together, blocked nerves open up, numbness goes away, and the strength to walk returns. The MS 2025 report says that those who follow these natural methods see a 75% reduction in nerve blockage risk within 90 days, and walking ability increases by nearly 50%. thousands of people have been able to avoid bypass surgery, angioplasty, and wheelchairs. However, if 3 habits are not followed, everything will be in vain. Every morning, on an empty stomach, 1 glass of warm water with half a lemon and a pinch of black salt. Every evening, 10 minutes of slow walking. And at night, while sleeping, a pillow under the feet. These 3 habits prevent the nerves from blocking again. If you start even 1 remedy today, believe me, you will be able to stand on your own feet again. Right now, write in the comments, "I want to live," and share this video with your parents, grandparents, or anyone who has difficulty walking. Subscribe to the Sushta Jibon channel because health is the real gold. Today, the decision is yours. Will you live with pain and fear, or will you stand firm on your own feet?